Hello everybody, and welcome to another Westin Automotive installation video. Today we will be installing part number 57-93680/93685. The HDX winch mounted grill guard for the 2014 Chevy Silverado 1500 and GMC Sierra. The HDX winch mount grill guard has solid one-piece welded uprights, features a full punch plate grill, and also features full wraparound 2-inch diameter wings for ultimate protection. It also is offered in two finishes, our very durable black powder coat, as well as our extremely corrosion resistant polished stainless steel. Now let's get the packaging opened and see what's inside. At first glance you will notice that the boxes are very thick cardboard and are also assembled with very heavy duty staples. This is all done to ensure your product arrives to you in immaculate condition. But Westin did not stop there. As you can see, the grill guard has also been wrapped in foam and plastic, and the winch tray and grill guard brackets all come in their own individual boxes and separated by foam. Once we open up the hardware kit box, inside you'll find your install sheet, along with all of your brackets individually wrapped in a poly bag, and your hardware kit. Underneath those boxes you will find your winch tray. Here is the contents of both boxes laid out, along with all of the tools necessary to complete the installation. Please refer to your install sheet to make sure that everything listed is present and free from damage. Once you have verified everything to be present, you can then begin. Starting from the front of the vehicle underneath the hood, we must remove these black plastic clips that hold in place the black plastic radiator shroud cover. Once all these clips have been removed, we can then remove it and place it to the side, as we will be reinstalling it later. Next, we need to remove the 4 factory fasteners that are attaching the grill shell to the top of the radiator support. Please keep all the factory fasteners and clips separate, as you will need these to reinstall the grill components later. Now that we have these 4 fasteners removed, we can proceed to removing the body filler panel from in between the grill and the bumper. Start by removing these small fasteners that are in the inner fender well. As you can see, there's one that is easily visible and one that is not so easily visible that is up here at the top. Now we can gently pull the body filler panel away from the vehicle, and then we will need to move underneath the vehicle from behind the bumper. Once we are underneath the vehicle, remove these plastic tabs that are holding in the body filler panel, and then it can be removed. Now that we have access to the bottom of the grill shell, we can now remove the 4 factory fasteners that are attaching it to the bottom of the radiator support. Now let's remove the grill shell. We need to pull up and out on the retaining tabs that are located on the radiator support in order to remove this from the vehicle. Place the grill aside to be reinstalled later. With all of the grill components removed, we now have access to the top of the bumper. We need to remove the top bumper bolts that are attaching the bumper to the frame. Then we will move underneath the bumper and remove the bumper support bolts as well. With all of these bolts removed, we are now able to remove the bumper from the frame. At this time, if you have tow hooks, please reference your install sheet for their removal. Locate these 3 bumper bracket bolts and loosen, but do not remove them, and this step is only done on the driver's side. Next, let's install the driver's side winch tray mounting bracket by slipping it into the frame rail and loosely securing it using the supplied M12 hardware. Please repeat all of these steps for the passenger side brackets, except for the loosening of the bumper bracket bolts. If your vehicle is equipped with tow hooks, the plastic bumper insert will look like the one we have here. If not, you will need to trim your plastic insert here in the tow hook areas to allow clearance for the previously installed mounting brackets. Once this has been completed, we can then tighten the bumper bracket bolts. Now we can take our bumper and reinstall it, but we will be using the top factory bumper bolts to install the upper support brackets. Leave these loosely attached, as these will need to be adjusted later. Now, measure from the center of the bumper to the outer edge of the bracket and adjust to 20 5/8 inches. Once your brackets have been fully adjusted, they must be fully tightened and torqued so they do not lose their adjustment. Torque these M12 bumper bolts to 50 to 55 foot-pounds. Next, take your winch tray and lay it on top of the mounting brackets you previously installed. Then, align the holes in the winch tray with the holes in the brackets and loosely attach them using the hardware provided. Do not fully tighten any of these fasteners at this time to allow for alignment and adjustment of the winch tray later. If you will be installing tow hooks part number 46-3005, now will be the time to do so. Inside the box you'll find your install sheet, along with your hardware kit, and you'll also find your tow hook. You will need to install 2 of these per winch tray. First, remove the top left tray mounting bolt. Now, before we install the tow hooks, the threads of the button head fasteners that are used to install them must have anti-seize applied to the threads to prevent galling and seizing, as they are stainless steel. Now you can take your tow hook and align it with the holes in the winch tray and attach it using the hardware provided. If you are installing a winch, do so now before installing the grill guard. Some winches will not fit once the grill guard is installed. Our winch trays will accommodate most major brand winches with a 10 by 4.5 inch bolt pattern. At this time, we can reinstall all of the grill components in the same way that they were removed. The grill guard spacers need to be attached next. Take the spacers and attach them to both sides of the winch tray using the hardware provided with your grill guard. With assistance, take your grill guard and slip it around the winch tray and the upper support brackets. First, take your grill guard and align it with the upper support strap, and then attach it using the hardware provided. This hardware is stainless steel and anti-seize will need to be applied. Then, align the bottom mounting holes with the spacer bracket and attach it using the hardware provided as well. Using the Allen wrenches that were provided with your kit, along with the appropriate socket and ratchet, after aligning and adjusting the grill guard as we see fit, we can then begin to tighten all of the hardware at this time. Start by tightening all of the hardware that attaches the grill guard to the winch tray, and then move on to the mounting brackets. Now that all the fasteners have been tightened, we can begin the torquing process. The torquing process is in place to prevent over-tightening of the fasteners and also to prevent the fasteners from coming loose. Please refer to your install sheet for bolt location as to not over-torque or under-torque any one fastener. Please torque all M10 fasteners to 30 to 35 foot-pounds and torque all M12 fasteners to 50 to 55 foot-pounds. Once the torquing has been completed, your installation is now finished. Thank you for watching the Westin Automotive installation video for part number 57-93685, the HDX winch mounted grill guard for the 2014 and up Chevy Silverado 1500s.